Pearl Harbor by Brady Tester
and Tanner K. Singer.
Slide 1. The Japanese attacked the United States without warning. The attack lasted 110 minutes, from 7:55 a.m. until 9:45 a.m. A total of 2,335 U.S. servicemen were killed and 1,143 were wounded. 68 civilians were also killed and 35 were wounded.
Slide 2. The Japanese lost 65 men, with an additional soldier being captured. Pearl Harbor is on the south side of the Hawaiian island of, and I cannot pronounce that.
Oblak.
Yeah, and is the home to a U.S. naval base. The attack on Pearl Harbor brought the United States into World War II. That's a picture of smoke, 300ness, and swag, pretty much.
Yeah. Slide 3. Plans for a surprise attack against the United States were begun as early as January of 1941. Although it was Japanese Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto who initiated the plans for the attack against Pearl Harbor, Commander Minoru Jinda was the plan's chief architect. The Japanese used the codename Operation Hawaii for the attack on Pearl Harbor. This was later changed to Operation Z, probably because the first name was really clever.
Probably. Slide 4. The main target of the Japanese was to be the aircraft carriers. However, since all 3 U.S. aircraft carriers were out to sea, the Japanese focused on the battleships. There were 8 battleships at Pearl Harbor that day, which included all the battleships of the U.S. Pacific Fleet except for one, to be the Colorado.
Many U.S. servicemen were either still in their pajamas or eating breakfast in the mess halls when the attack on Pearl Harbor began. U.S. servicemen identified the invading planes as Japanese because of the meatballs, what they called the large red circle, the rising sun on the side of the Japanese planes. The Japanese hoped to destroy U.S. planes on the ground in order to minimize any counterattack against them over Pearl Harbor or against the Japanese attack force.
Slide 6, I'm assuming. The Japanese struck the airfields at Hickam Field, Wheeler Field, Bellows Field, Iwo Field, Schofield, Barracks, and Canoe Naval Air Station. Many of the U.S. airplanes were lined up outside along the airstrips, wingtip to wingtip, in order to avoid sabotage. Unfortunately, that made them easy targets for the Japanese attackers. Unable to get more than a handful of planes in the air, individual U.S. servicemen tried to shoot down the Japanese planes from the ground. And that's a picture of what looks like to be a shot-up car.
With a dead body inside.
That's pretty 300 if you ask me. Savage.
Slide 7. When the Japanese left Pearl Harbor at 9:45 a.m., the Americans didn't realize the attack was actually over. They expected another wave to hit. The day following the attack on Pearl Harbor, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt declared that December 7th, 1941 would be a date that will live in infamy.
The United States declared war on Japan on December 8, 1941, the day following the attack on Pearl Harbor. Remember Pearl Harbor became a rallying cry for the U.S. during World War II. There's some freedom for you, Japan. Hoorah! That's a picture of the USS Arizona, I believe.
Definitely not the Titanic.
No, not the Titanic. I don't think so.
Nah.
But yeah, have a nice day.